Hi everybody, Dr. Close here, and I'm going to take a moment to go over your syllabus for our Healthcare Ethics course. And this is Religious Studies 231. The proper title is Morality in Contemporary Healthcare. So this is from the spring 2018 semester. Our dates are the 12th of March through the 27th of April. I'm your instructor, Dr. Close. 3 credits online. And here is my home phone number, but I would prefer you email me at close.f@gmercyu.edu. So let's look first at our required textbook. That would be, and I have a link to it actually here. It's called Healthcare Ethics, Theological Foundations, Contemporary Issues, and Controversial Cases. You'll see here that I have if you click on Start Here in the course, right under where you can download the syllabus, you'll see that there is a link to the Healthcare Ethics textbook. It's got 4 authors that make it up. It's from, now it says St. Mary's Press. It's Ansel Academic today, but you can also find this online, and it's usually not that expensive to buy an online version. You know, compared to some other textbooks. I've done courses at community colleges that cost $100 for a book. You don't have to worry about that with me. Alright, so that's one issue here that you won't have to worry about, is a very expensive textbook. Alright, so in terms of the course description, this is a course that grounds itself on the Judeo-Christian understanding of the sanctity of life. And we're going to look at ethical principles and practices of decision-making as influenced by the Catholic moral tradition and apply to specific moral questions. So here what we're trying to do here in this course, our course objectives: develop an understanding of the relationship between religious belief and medical science and its impact on human society, especially the interactions between patients and healthcare providers, and what this means for the future development of the medical care industry. We're looking to develop an understanding of the basic principles of morality and ethics, and how they relate to medical technology in the treatment of patients. To contemplate the complexity of human beings and consider the implications for treating the patient as a whole human being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And to contribute to the development and preparation of students on the path to becoming educated professionals in the modern field of healthcare. Alright, so here's how we're going to do this course in our format. Alright, we're going to meet those objectives by, since this is fully online, you're going to be reading our course texts. You'll be viewing lectures. I'm going to record video lectures that you'll be able to watch. Alright, generally they are me interacting with the PowerPoint. Alright, so it's not going to be me on the camera, but it will be the content, okay, so that I can deliver the material to you much like I would if I was in a face-to-face environment. But part of the thing is you're going to be expected to meet the 6 deadlines, all right? So the way the course works is, since we're technically there's about 7 weeks, but the Easter break is going to interfere with I think it's week 3. So really, there's going to be 6 deadlines we're going to hit along the way. So the first few Mondays will be deadlines, and then the last few Fridays. All right. So we can wrap the course up by the 27th. So each module you'll generally have a week to take care of that. But we are going to pause over the Easter break because the university is closed, and hopefully I'll get to be celebrating the holidays with my family, and hopefully if you are a believer, you'll be able to celebrate Passover or Holy Week and Easter with your families as well. So log on to the course at my.gmercu.edu, and there you'll see all the notes and assignments posted there. Alright, so our learning outcomes, we have communication skills. The one method we do that is the discussion board, and there'll be a discussion rubric. We only have a couple discussion boards in the course. Really, since we're only here 6 weeks, I have one at the beginning and one at the end, and we'll take a look at those in a minute. Critical thinking skills, all right, so the case study papers, I mean, critical thinking is a very, very important skill to have. Not just that you can regurgitate information, but you can make connections, you can draw conclusions, you can analyze information, and certainly with something as intricate as healthcare, there's a lot of information to synthesize. So we're hoping that you'll be able to do that, especially because it's going to confront you in the field when you become professionals. So now ethical and moral decision making kind of goes with the subject of the course, and we assess that in many ways. And certainly your professional competency is important from this course. And the state of Pennsylvania requires a healthcare ethics course for a lot of majors. Now you could be taking this as one of your religious studies courses and you're not in the healthcare field. Certainly somebody as me teaching it, I kind of fell into this without being in the healthcare field, because the very first teaching job I ever had, they told me, well, you have to teach medical ethics. So at that point I said, all right, bring it on. So I did a lot of study, and then I went to grad school and got to study it a little bit too. All right, so in terms of curriculum goals that we'll be looking at here, we hope you can express an appreciation and understanding of a wide variety of approaches that now, certainly in this course we're going to be looking at the Roman Catholic perspective on a lot of these issues, but a lot of times these issues will be done from a general perspective as well. All right, so the idea will be that you'll get to understand the diversity of thought. And we do encourage people to bring other perspectives to the table here. And, certainly as a Roman Catholic university, there are Roman Catholic ideals the university would be interested in you learning. But that does not preclude you from speaking what you think is the proper way to approach an issue. And in doing that, it doesn't mean you have to regurgitate a Catholic approach to get a good grade. That's not what we're doing here. Next, engage meaningfully in the community of scholarship. Maybe some of your case studies you're going to work on. I'll tell you about that in a second. You can submit to the Gwen and Mercy Student Journal. Hopefully you can understand the impact of medical technology on society, and you can reflect upon the relationship of the divine to human experience. You know what? Sickness and suffering, and honestly what religion is a reaction to humanity and what it means to be human. And sickness, suffering include some profound key questions in human life and in religious life. A lot of people want to know why bad things happen to good people. And, some of the best people I ever knew really suffered from tough disease and required a great amount of care. So keep that in mind. All right, that this is a very much human endeavor, and that's because it is very human. That is what makes it religious. All right, so here's how we're going to break down your grade. All right, so there's going to be 2 discussions. It's just going to make up 10% of your grade. We're going to have 2 discussions on one at the beginning, one at the end. The first one will be kind of an introductory discussion board where you kind of tell us why you're taking the course and what your background is and kind of how your studying is going for your various endeavors. The second part of the grade will be unit quizzes. So we're going to have a quiz, 12 quizzes, and each quiz, rather than give you big exams, each quiz will assess the material of that particular day's or particular week's chapters are going to have you read. So they're going to be directly related to the textbook. I figured that was the easiest thing to do. And so they're 50 points each. You'll take 2 of them in any given week. And then in those 6 weeks, it'll end up being 600 total points. And then for your papers, what you're going to do is you'll see the textbook has a number of case studies. You're going to write an extended response. And those case studies will be 100 points each. So those will be due every other module, so every other week, basically, right? So we're kind of cramming this into 6 weeks, so that means pretty much every second week you'll be able to turn in one of those papers. All right, here's your grading scale we're going to use. A is 94 to 100, A minus 90 to 93, B plus 88 to 89, B is 84 to 87, and so on and so on. So when you get to the nice thing about figuring out your grade with this course is you'll notice that the percentages add up. I'm going to put them in as points, but if you add up the total points, it's going to be out of 1,000. So all you do is just take a a decimal point there. You kind of know how you did. So if you have 886 points when it's all said and done, that means you have an 88.6. You look on the scale here, 88.6 is a B plus, and you'll know exactly where you stand. All right, we kind of talked about those. All right, so I'm going to put a separate video together on the case studies. But the hope is that just in a minimum of 500 words, now I say a minimum, all right, I'm asking you to pick one of the case studies from that week's readings. Now you're going to, from those, excuse me, the 2 weeks readings. So you'll have plenty to choose from, all right? You'll see them. They're in like gray boxes as you look through your textbook. So pick one case study, and you're gonna really focus on that particular case study. So you'll be able to demonstrate you have an understanding of all sides of the issue there. You know what are some other alternatives, but obviously you will pick one moral conclusion and be able to tell me about it. Show some outside research for supporting evidence. You might not have to dig that far to, you probably have a lot of medical textbooks still from your other courses. You can certainly look up articles online, the scholarly type or the regular news type. Make sure that they are real news and not fake news if you do that. Excuse me. So the idea is that you're going to be informed to the discussion in some way, because your textbook isn't going to have a lot of time to tell you about all the various things that are being discussed around the issue. I ask that you have a clear introduction paragraph and a clear conclusion paragraph, right? We really want this to be an essay. That means we want clear body paragraphs. And typically, like if you're making an argument in one direction, each supporting argument should be its own paragraph. And we want to make sure that overall this shows strong written communication, free of grammatical or typographical errors. So submit either a PDF or a Microsoft Word file as your assignment. Use the grader that's in Blackboard that helps me grade it. That does best with a PDF or a Microsoft Word file. And if you try to submit a Google Docs file, Google Docs usually print the PDF anyway, if I'm not mistaken. But if like you have Pages on a Mac, like it won't open that. And I have a PC because I never bought a Mac because all the colleges where I taught, there would be they would have PCs, so it didn't make sense for me to go down that Mac territory. All right, so keep that in mind, and I'm going to post a rubric to Blackboard about that. Some of the resources we have on campus, don't forget the Academic Resource Center. They can help you with tutoring or with writing. If you are struggling with writing, you might want to check that out. If I ever happen to ask you to use those services, I really recommend you do so. It's included in your tuition, so you might as well take advantage of it. But there's the phone and the email to get that Academic Resource Center help. There's counseling assistance if you need it. I throw it on the syllabus because you never know when somebody will need it. There could be mental health, stress, other issues with a counselor, and they keep it confidential, of course. And finally, for key dates for us, March 12th, of course, begins. The ad drop is on March 14th. I hope you'll stay. Let me know if you have any questions that we can work out before you would drop the course. I hope you don't. March 29th to April 2nd, that's our Easter holiday. And April 16th, I believe, is the last day to withdraw, and the course ends on April 27th. All right, so it's all kind of comes together really fast. All right, so here's some information on office hours and other contact information and policies. All right, so look, here's my home phone office number. Okay, this is my house. Right now, this semester, I'm teaching at 4 colleges. I'm only part-time at Gwinnett, so I don't really have necessarily a lot of time I'm spending on campus. Since it's an online course, we have lots of technology that we can use to have a discussion. I'm happy to meet with you online through a course chat room. I'll meet you on Skype, FaceTime, if you want to talk on the phone, whatever you want. All right. So it's important you just let me know. Now, because I work a lot at different places, I don't always get my home voicemail. Okay, so please just send me an email. I have the email access all the time, and I usually can get right back to you. And plus, it's very helpful that we have a record of the email. Um, I'm sure you have Gmail on your phones and stuff, so just shoot me an email if you're having any issues, and please be sure that you just you let me know any issues as soon as possible. And I often ask people to give me 48 hours notice for me to respond. It's usually not more than that, but if I'm away for a couple days, it just might work out that way. All right, I do my best, but a lot of times 2 questions come in on the weekend, and it's a little bit tough. So email me. We can always come up with a time to talk. Academic integrity policy. You should be expected to maintain full academic honesty. This is an online course. I ask you please take your own assignments, take your own quizzes. All right, you're not supposed to work together here. All right, the point of the online quizzes is that you can take them yourself. Now, there are services where they record you as you do it to make sure you're not cheating. I don't think we need to go that route, but if there's any evidence there is cheating, I'll have to make sure I abide by the policy that's there in the undergraduate catalog and the student handbook. And it's your responsibility to have an understanding of those policies, so please check them out. Disability support services, we're certainly committed to any reasonable accommodations you need for various disabilities, so please make sure you let them know if you have any issues. Now, they give you an accommodations letter. We're online. Some people have said in the past, oh, I couldn't give it to you because this is an online course. You all have cell phones. Take a picture of it with your cell phone and send it to me. That's fine. All right. I'm not going to be that picky as to how I get it, but I really do need to get it because I'm not allowed to make accommodations until I get that. So keep that in mind as you go forward. All right, so here's a sample week. All right, so week 1, March 12th to March 19th. Now, really, it's Monday through Friday, but we roll over the weekend, and I have it end on Monday night, even though I consider the next one starting on that Monday as well. So kind of keep that in mind. So what we're going to be doing here is you'll see that I ask you to view the syllabus and course introductions. There's going to be a discussion board on the module for course introductions where you can introduce yourself. You can see those directions there accordingly. And so for each unit, you'll read the book and you'll watch my lecture. All right, I'm in the process of doing all the video right now. So because I haven't taught it Gwynedd yet, because I haven't used this textbook yet, I'm going to be making sure that I keep these up to date by getting the PowerPoint done and the video done and the quizzes done before the week starts. All right, so I'm not going to be able to get them for you too much in advance. As you might imagine, it's a lot of work to do all this. So excuse me. So I'm very happy to be at Gwynedd, and you're my first section that's taking this course with me in this manner. So I'm really excited to do it, but know that it's a lot of work, and I'm not going to be able to necessarily get it. Now, I'd love to get ahead of the game here, so if I can get things done earlier, I'd be very, very happy to do so. But don't expect that material in too much of advance until the next module. All right, so I'll be uploading shortly the videos. I'll be uploading shortly the quizzes, and once they're in place, they'll be ready for the beginning of the start of the course. Now I'm away this coming weekend, but I'll be back next week and should have the following week up soon. And I'm just gonna keep hammering away until they're all done. But as you might imagine, making 12 long PowerPoint presentations, making 12 videos, making 12 quizzes, it's a lot of work, and I'm going to do my best to get them ahead of time, but And if I put them up ahead of time, go for it. Feel free to start them. If I can't get them in ahead of time, then you'll be able to, you'll just have to wait until they begin. But I'm going to do my best. All right, so there's that course introduction discussion. You'll notice on the end of the second week, it says case study number 1 is due. I'll show you where to submit that. As I mentioned, here's the scheduling here. Come on. So March 26th through 28th, that's the first batch of that week, and then we're going to take the break from March 29th through April 2nd. That's Holy Thursday through Easter Tuesday. Holy Thursday is also Passover, so I'm sure if you are Jewish, you'll be taking that holiday as well. So then we won't have anything due until the following Friday from when that Monday is, all right? So that's the way it's going to work out. But you have 2 quizzes to take after reading the lectures, and then again you'll have the following week we're back to another case study, and then when we get to the end of the course, your final case study, and there is a wrap-up discussion on there too. What I hope to do with the wrap-up discussion is give us a forum to talk about what issues need to be updated, what new information you might know about some of these issues. Certainly the healthcare reform chapter, there were some developments this past year. It seemed that they tried to get a healthcare bill through, and it didn't necessarily work, right? It got rejected. So I think this healthcare issue, it hasn't died. But it looks like there are, what was commonly known as Obamacare, whose real name is the Affordable Care Act, did not get repealed, but some still hope to repeal it. And I don't think anybody thinks it's a perfect law. So anyway, you can give me that feedback that we can try to update some of these items. All right, and and if for some reason we need to update the syllabus, I will certainly let you know. Really fast before I conclude this video. Let's say start here. Now the weekly learning modules is going to have all the information for the course. So you'll see it's broken down here by week 1, week 2, and then there's the first case study. You submit it there. Week 3, week 4, submit the next case study there. 5, 6, and then submit the case study there. And I'm recording this before I posted the other videos, so here I gave you the PowerPoints. There'll be a web link to that. I'm going to upload the video to YouTube, and then you'll have a link to watch that, and then you'll have the quiz under that for each one. All right, so I'm going to keep working on those things so that you're all set to go. So they're not there as of the recording of this video, but just dig through the course and do that. Here you'll see, here's my faculty information if you need it. This is my little daughter, Katie. Okay, Katie is 1 year old. She turned 1 year old February 21st. So I wish I had a picture of my wife, Megan, too, but I don't have that handy. But I just want to show off my little baby. So there she is. But you see here, I've got my email there, my phone number there, and if you ever, if you don't have your syllabus handy, that's a quick way, and it's not always easy to download the document every time you want to reach me. Okay? All right, well, I look forward to working with you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you online.